What's going on, everyone? I'm Neo Auto. Today we're going to be talking Corvette. There's a new model on the horizon and it's called the Z06. We're going to be talking about all the latest leaks on this vehicle, plus we have even bigger news. An inside source has given information on all the upcoming Corvette models for the next few years. I mean, it's unbelievable everything we know. So with that being said, let's just get right into it.
Alright, so before we begin, let's refresh our memory on the Corvette rollout. In July 2019, Chevy revealed the 8th generation Corvette, and it was a complete change from the previous generation. People were just blown away. It looked less like a Corvette and more like a Ferrari. The 8th generation Corvette, also denoted as the C8, has a mid-engine configuration with a 6.2-liter V8 that makes 495 horsepower. And best of all, thanks to its new dual-clutch transmission, it can go 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds. As much as I love a manual transmission, these new DCTs are a blast to drive. The shifting is just so quick. We'll talk more about the DCT in a little bit. Now realize this is only the base level Corvette. It's only the beginning. A new, even more powerful version is coming soon, and this will more than likely be the Z06. Now, what is going to power it? Well, the rumor has it there will be a 5.5-liter naturally aspirated V8. It will be a flat plane crank variant with no supercharger. The power is rumored to be 630 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque. Now this is impressive, but you might be wondering, why isn't Chevy giving it a supercharger? I mean, after all, the last Z06 made 650 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque. This would mean that the new Z06 would be less powerful than the previous generation. But there's something important that you need to remember. The new C8 is a completely different animal. The engine is now in the mid position, meaning the weight distribution has completely shifted. This makes the C8 much more nimble on the track. We've already seen this with the standard Corvette. It can go 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds, and it makes less power than what this Z06 is going to make. On top of that, the Z06 is supposedly going to have a flat plane crank V8. This means it can rev extremely high. Look no further than the GT350. It has a rev limit of 8,200 RPM. Driving that high in the rev range is an exhilarating experience. Now, as for the Z06, it's speculated that the rev limit will reach 9,000 RPM. What? Which, if true, is absolutely insane. Even most of the world's best supercars don't rev that high. This shows that Chevy is not messing around. They are planning on making the Corvette a world contender. Now, along with the mid-engine architecture, the new dual-clutch transmission is going to make this Corvette so quick. As much fun as it is to drive a manual transmission, it just isn't as fast as a DCT. For those of you unaware, here is what a Tremec dual-clutch transmission looks like. Tremec says it has the efficiency of a manual transmission with the speed and smoothness of an automatic. Think of it this way. When you're driving a manual vehicle, you are temporarily disengaging the engine from the transmission to select the desired gear. This action takes time, and in a racing application, it's super critical the driver is quick at shifting. But with the dual clutch transmission, you basically have two manual transmissions. They're both controlled by a computer. As one clutch is engaged with one gear, the other clutch pre-selects the next gear. So when you upshift with the paddle shifter, it's instant. That's why the 0 to 60 is so quick. And when you pair that with an even more powerful Corvette, the results are going to be even better. Okay, so we've established how incredible the new Corvette is, and an even more powerful version is coming soon. But what if I told you there are 5 Corvette variants coming out over the next 4 years? That's right, according to a new report, there will be 5 new Corvette variants released over the next 4 years. So let's go over all the models. As we've already established, the 2022 model year will bring the Z06, a more powerful Corvette with more aggressive styling. We'll most likely see it revealed later this summer, and pricing will start around $80,000. Next, in 2023, the ZR1 will be released. Historically, the ZR1 is one of the most powerful and capable variants of Corvette. But for the 8th generation, Chevy has even bigger plans. It's believed that the next ZR1 will receive a twin-turbo 5.5-liter V8, which will produce as much as 850 horsepower. Pricing is expected to start around $120,000. But that's not all. 2023 will also see the release of the first ever plug-in hybrid Corvette. This will be all-wheel drive with 2 motors on the front axle and maybe even a third motor between the DCT and the engine. What's still unknown is what engine will it have. It's likely that Chevy will put the Z06 V8 in it to make some insane power figures. The power will hover somewhere around the Z06 and the ZR1, maybe around 750 horsepower. In 2024, an all-electric Corvette will be released. It will share the same hybrid technology from the plug-in, but will have a larger battery. Expect pricing to be less than the ZR1. Now, the best Corvette is being saved for last. In 2025, the Corvette Zora will be released. Zora will use the twin-turbo V8 from the ZR1, along with the hybrid system from the hybrid Vette. By combining these two technologies, Zora will produce around 1,000 horsepower and will be priced around 150 grand. This is incredible. Without a doubt, the C8 is going to be making history. Imagine how prominent supercar manufacturers are going to react when the Zora hits the streets. 150,000 is a lot of money, especially for a car. But believe it or not, it's actually a competitive price. Cars that sit at the 1,000 horsepower range normally command prices in the millions. And to add insult to injury, Chevy is planning to make Zora outperform them. Zora will make history when it's revealed. It's going to be groundbreaking.
So as you can see, the Z06 is only the beginning. Chevy has so much in store for the C8. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I'm Neo Auto, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.